Hi lovelies and welcome in my kitchen. Today we are preparing a full Thanksgiving dinner inspired by the World of Warcraft cookbook. An abundant feast just as it is enjoyed all throughout Azeroth during the Pilgrims' bounty festivities. I will show you how to make cranberry sauce, prepare delicious spiced stuffing and slow roast a Thanksgiving turkey. In this cozy, festive Cook With Me video, I take you along through all the dishes in easy to follow steps and share my tips and tricks so you too can cook a wonderful Thanksgiving dinner or a proper Azerothian Pilgrim's bounty feast. As always, you can find the ingredients and measurements that I have used in the description box down below, together with the original World of Warcraft cookbook. This time I do have a classic version as well as a vegetarian option prepared for you. Unfortunately, only the cranberry sauce is vegan. We will start by preparing a flavorful, slightly tart cranberry sauce. For this we will need a special spice mixture that the World of Warcraft cookbook calls holiday spices. For the herbal blend, we add the following in a mortar if you use whole spices or directly into the bowl if you work with ground spices. Cloves, nutmeg, a lot of cinnamon to give it that extra winter holiday tang, and a bit of coriander, some salt and a dash of pepper. And then we can grind all spices up with a pestle. Next, we want to cut some candied ginger into tiny pieces, adding a bit of spicy, exotic flavor to our cranberry sauce. Furthermore, we also want to mince some garlic. And as we are already wielding a weapon and have evil-smelling garlic fingers, we can immediately get it over with and chop the onion that is needed in fine pieces. Now in a little saucepan we mix some apple cider vinegar, honey and a bit of port wine. In my house, you know it is a holiday if there is lots of booze in the food and occasionally in me. Then we toss in the finely chopped onion and season it with the spice mixture we prepared before. Last but not least, we add 2 spoons of balsamic vinegar and then we stir to combine all the ingredients. We can now put this on low heat on the stove for about 5 minutes and in the meantime wash the cranberries and prepare the apple and pear. Both have to be cored and cut in small pieces. Personally, I do not peel things unless it is absolutely necessary. First of all, I am lazy like that, and second, the peel will cook very soft and in the end the cranberry sauce is somewhat mushy anyway, so no one can tell. While we were busy chopping away, the sauce should have had enough time to simmer and combine, and we can now add the apple and pear and turn up the heat a bit. We let this cook until the fruit has softened somewhat and then we add in the cranberries. This was my very first time making cranberry sauce or Thanksgiving dinner for that matter. And I did have serious ASMR moments when the cranberries would pop open from the heat. Doesn't this look absolutely wonderful and festive with those bright colors? And I do have a question for all my Thanksgiving food lovers out there, as I heard the world is split into 2 legions. Those who make their own chutney and those who prefer Ocean Spray store-bought cranberry sauce. Let me know in the comments down below. We now let this simmer for about 20 minutes until it has the consistency of a thick jam. On to other adventures. Let's gather all ingredients we need to fill the bird, or if you're celebrating a vegetarian feast, the delicious things to prepare a baked oven dish made out of spice bread stuffing and maybe some mozzarella or parmesan. For the turkey stuffing, we need a loaf of mulgur spice bread, another delicacy from the World of Warcraft cookbook that I have made on this channel before. You can check out the quick and easy recipe for the spice bread with a link above and down below. The specific bread is made with a wonderful combination of warming spices, ideal for the colder season, that gives your house that smell of home and holidays when baking in the oven. But if you don't want to go through the effort of baking your own bread, you can use any other rustic bread, and maybe season it with the spices that I've listed in the tips down below. If the bread is a day or two old and a bit dry, it works best, but if not, you can just cut it in small cubes and put it in the oven for about 20 minutes at around 150 degrees Celsius to let it dry out a bit. Now we unfortunately have to dice another onion that we will then cook in a ton of butter. As so often in my recipes, butter really is the magic ingredient here that makes this turkey stuffing so incredibly crispy and delicious. We want to make sure we fry it until the onions appear soft and translucent. Now we will need a big bowl in which we toss the bread cubes. Then we add in the milk and carefully and without mushing anything, mix it a bit with our hands so all the cubes can be soaked with the liquid. And then it is back to the cutting board, as more things need to be chopped and diced. This feast is celebrating the harvest of the season, and pears and apples just taste divine when combined with the right kind of wintry and autumnal spices. So after we have chopped another pear and apple, we add them to the bowl too and crack in an egg. And of course we don't want to forget about the buttery onions. And just like that, we are almost done. Only a festive and flavorful seasoning is missing. You can use fresh or dried herbs. Some garden sage, thyme and parsley go wonderfully in this. And of course we don't want to forget some salt. Now if you're preparing a vegetarian Thanksgiving dinner, you just place this mixture in an oven dish and bake it for about 40 minutes, maybe topped off with some cheese. But if you are a carnivore, you proceed as follows. A little warning, the next part might not be suitable for the faint of heart, and we are getting extremely close, personal and graphic with our turkey. If you are no carnivore, you might want to skip this part. We now have to clean out the turkey or make our friend do it, who offered to help throughout the entire process but only got assigned the nastiest of all tasks. Sorry, Jessica. So what you or your chosen house elf want to do now, well, actually have to do now really, is to stick your hand in the pale carcass and rip out any guts and glibbery bits until the bird is merely an empty shell of skin and bones. We then wash it very thoroughly and don't forget to wash our hands, just like 2020 has taught us. Now we practice some kitchen taxidermy, stuffing the poor bird with a spice bread mixture. And then we whip up a tasty body butter for the turkey so it can recover from all that action with a bit of pampering. We mix white wine with another mountain of melted butter and add a spice mixture that the World of Warcraft cookbook refers to as autumnal spices. For this mixture we need dried rosemary, thyme, marjoram, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger and blue cornflower petals. After combining the basting sauce, we can now give our stuffed turkey a little spa treatment. Place the turkey on a roast and then you can either use a brush to apply the butter, or if you fancy some more pre-dinner intimacies, you can actually use your hands to massage the mixture into the meat. This does help a lot with the taste and texture of the skin later on. Use about a quarter of the sauce. The rest we will need once the Thanksgiving turkey is in the oven. Then you want to sprinkle on some salt to help it with the browning. Now we cut yet another onion, because even though we cried a lot of onion-induced tears already today, it just is so worth it for a full flavored gravy. We need a roasting pan with tall sides that should more or less be the same size in width and length as the turkey. In it we mix chicken broth, apple cider vinegar, honey, and of course our chopped onion. This pan will be placed on the bottom of the oven. The rack with the turkey will be placed on top of it, so the juices from the turkey can drip in the roasting pan. The first half hour we leave the turkey in a preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and after that we reduce the heat to about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and remember to apply some more of the autumnal body butter every 45 minutes or so. When the delicious smell of holiday spices and roasted turkey fills your kitchen, it is time to remove the bird from the oven and grab the roasting pan that now should contain some of the drippings and the sauce we prepared before. Place it on the stove and turn up the heat. You might need 2 burners depending on the size of your pan. And stir in some milk and a bit of flour or cornstarch while stirring the gravy. Once it has reached its desired thickness, you can remove it from the heat and serve it to your hungry companions. The book suggests caramelized marshmallow chopped sweet potato as a side, but as I'm personally not a fan of that, we enjoyed this dish with salty seasoned mashed potatoes and another load of butter and fresh chives instead. If you end up with leftovers, the turkey and cranberry sauce make a great cold sandwich with some mustard and a slice of bread. I do hope you enjoyed this little trip into the kitchens of Azeroth and can now cook your very own Thanksgiving dinner or Pilgrim's bounty feast. Next time I will be back with some more kitchen witchery, a protection spell and a witchy tag video. Have a wonderful celebration and remember to stay safe and healthy. See you soon!